My fellow animal lovers, it's me, Feather. I am bringing you this news tonight on my YouTube channel to let you know that a travesty has occurred. What? Okay, so it was like 2 weeks ago, but still, it is of the utmost importance that we rally around Pablo Escobar's cocaine hippos. Someone like the government or something declared that they are people. And I say that is an outrage. As a card-carrying member of the greatest organization to ever exist and do more for all people than any other organization, PETA, I just feel that stripping these poor creatures of their animal status. What do people have against animals? Why can't we just let them be animals? Is it because you want to abort all the hippo babies, Nancy Pelosi? Hippos are creatures that deserve our love and our care, except not our care per se, because they are wild animals and they should be allowed to multiply and go forth in the Amazon. They were there before the people's homes were. Sorry. Okay, so it sounds like some of the settlements are older than the hippos, but I don't care. Take to social media, my featherites, hashtag save the hippos. And remember, anytime you want hard-hitting news or just ideas about how to live a better life, come here to our YouTube channel because your friends are here.
You don't have to be there. You don't have to be there. You don't have to be there. Your friends are here. Your friends are here.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Your Friends and Friends. And we're all friends with each other, so it's still accurate. And see, that was a friend right there. And she'll be back in a minute. And you're friends because you watch. We've got a really experimental evening. We're going to do, the whole evening is going to be inspired by news articles, news headlines, just weird stuff that we've heard lately. That's what news is, right? That's not hearsay or rumor.
It's not olds.
Nope. So what we're going to need to do is, what we need from you for inspiration for some of these scenes, if you can put in, of course, we're going to be playing newscasters coming up. If you can put in news headlines into the chat. Now, they can be a mix of made-up things, but also, if you find some interesting news stories, feel free to pepper those in. We'd like to use some of those. We've already found a bunch of weird articles to inspire what we're doing tonight. So mix that up, but we'll definitely need headlines. Mix of real headlines and maybe fake ones that you just would like to hear details on. Please pop those into the chat. And I want to say hello to Victor and Robert. I know those people are here tonight. If you're here in the chat, feel free to say hello and fill up that live chat. All right, I'm going to bring in our players for tonight. We have, of course, I'm your sort of MC, Davis Banta. Let's bring up Carrie Browde.
Oh, that's me. Hello. Oh, now I can.
Oh,
now I
there
can't
we
get
go.
the video on.
Oh, there we
Jeepers.
go. Carrie Browde. We got your Daniel Ruiz. Got your Lizzie's Prindle.
Oh, yeah.
And we got your Jacob Ellis. And we got your swathed in darkness, good old Jacob, and Mr. Andy Malcolm is joining us tonight.
Yay!
Hi.
Friends of your friends, Andy Malcolm.
Always a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Hi.
All right, please do put in some headlines in that for moving forward. But while you were doing that, we're going to kick off the evening with one-word horoscopes. We don't know how many people like to read their horoscopes. It's a popular part of the newspaper, and so we're gonna get that going. This is one-word horoscope, so you'll learn, get to hear some of these fortunes for you in horoscopes coming up.
Aries.
Come
to
The
Room.
Where
It.
began
to
happen.
And
decide
Which.
person
you.
Are.
period.
Intriguing.
Taurus.
Why
Are.
You.
running.
Taurus? Question mark.
You.
are
Stronger.
Than.
They.
Are. Period.
very good.
Yeah. Good
Gemini.
Sunny.
Yet.
Sad.
Comma. Twice.
You.
Decided.
To.
Thwart.
Them.
Comma. Twice.
You.
Failed.
Period. Cancer.
Why.
Give.
Crabs.
Away.
Two.
Anyone.
Question mark. When.
You.
Love.
Your.
Private.
Life.
Period.
There we go.
Some of
All
those
right.
were some of those were really dark. If I read
Yeah.
this horoscope page, I would be upset.
Well, it's all
Right.
about
Well,
provocation. You know, it's
Yeah.
got to get you thinking,
I mean-
man.
Yeah.
It's got to get you thinking.
Maybe
Yeah.
you should be upset.
Jake, I mean,
Cancer.
the sun is not always in your house, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
True.
Sometimes
I never thought about
you're
it
in the
like that.
house of the rising sun, and sometimes
The house of the rising sun is in you.
it's in you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
The sun also rises.
I've never
Wow.
been to New Mexico.
Isn't it beautiful to think so? Haha, literary reference.
Oh,
If you picked up
Sorry,
any of
I don't get
those, you
it.
have to like our video. It's the law.
your friends are extra esoteric.
Yeah.
There
Hey,
you go.
I'm gonna go tune into the newscast today because there's some spicy news stories I want to
Oh,
watch.
guys, you guys
Are
should
there-
probably get it.
Oh,
Oh,
is
let
there
me.
news
Yeah.
on?
Hold on. Yeah. Let me.
Okay.
Really?
Let me go first.
Well, okay, bye.
And now, the nightly news is coming up. Pretty much now.
Mama, bana, mama. News of
Opening
Westeros.
sequence on TV.
Good evening. I'm Brick Hardbody, your newscaster for tonight. Senator Joe Manchin voluntarily becomes an indentured servant to the coal industry in a highly specific story and very topical. So we're gonna cut right there to Senator Joe Manchin's cousin to see how they're doing in the midst of the coal industry thing. This is very specific news. Yes. I'm sorry. I thought I
I'm
heard-
Brooke Rivers, live on set in Virginia with our coal miner, Gus Manchin. Gus? Gus?
Yes.
Now, Gus, can you explain exactly the way you told me 5 minutes ago? Just what coal means to you?
When I was a little kid, they used to say Santa came into my house through the chimney and he used to put coal inside of my socks. and I was so thankful for it because it kept my family warm and safe and together through hardships. So for me, coal is very important, and I like the taste of it as well.
Yes, yes. And Gus, speaking about your penchant for eating coal, how much coal do you eat per day?
Well, I think it's recommended you have to get as many as much of it into your charcoal. Activated charcoal is good for you. So I'd say I take it about with every meal.
Now, what do you say to folks who warn that activated charcoal can actually cause your body to leach generous proteins and other minerals that you might need, leaving you at risk for things like rickets or scurvy?
Well, I never trusted a lib, and I don't think I will.
Wow.
Well, you heard it here, Brick. Ivermectin County, Virginia, eats coal.
Great work, Brooke. Moving on. Dad with no brain loves energy drinks and his child. We're going to our local affiliate, Dan Truebody, who's interviewed this father with no brain and really going to get to the heart of what causes, what really drives him, what drives this sincere sense of love. Are you there? Yeah.
Hi. Yeah. Hi there. Is that Brick?
Yep. Yes, that's Brick.
Great. We're having some trouble here from the man cave. It is very densely packed. There's a lot of devices going.
Of course.
I'm here with Faisal Jones. Faisal, do you want to? Faisal?
Oh, you may have to find the scamp.
Great. Okay, so I have Faisal Jones here and his son Todd. And really, hey, Faisal, how are you? Faisal, could you tell us what it is about energy drinks that equates to love for you?
Well, you see, the thing is that the energy you get, I heard about this on science program one day. It's very similar to the oxycontin, oxytocin, something, oxyclean for all I know, that it gets released when you get love and affection. So I mean, clearly, I mean it's science that energy drinks they mean love, and they brought me love. A little boy here, he was conceived after a 2-day energy drink bender.
Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stats. Todd, how do you feel about your father's devotion, both to energy drinks and clearly to you?
I think it did really something really important in my life, and I think it was really a wonderful thing that happened. And honestly, I thank him every single day for the energy drinks that he downed right before I was conceived. Because let me tell you one thing: I think it gave me that speed. I think it gave me that power. I think it gave me that mind. I think it gave me everything that I ever have, and I thank him so much for it. And I give him massages all the time for it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, gentlemen, both for being here with us today. Brick, as you can see, the drug epidemic in central United States is really awful. It's rotting the minds of both adults and children alike. I mean, just a tragic story.
It's really something. Thanks for doing the good work out there.
Absolutely.
All right. Coming up, our next story. Nutty squirrel leaves 42 gallons of nuts in a man's Chevy Avalanche. We've got a reporter on the scene, Sam Tobin. Sam, are you there?
Hello there. Yes, I'm here. I can hear you. We have got the squirrel here. We have asked its motives, and well, without further ado, can you tell us a little about what happened here, buddy?
Well, I like nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to store them for the winter.
Okay.
And I like nuts.
Interesting. Well,
And fruit.
And fruit
Sometimes.
Well, there's also been a lot of
nuts
we
and
know
seeds.
that there's okay, very nice. We've also heard that there's been a lot of pie robberies, windowsill pie robberies around the neighborhood. It sounded like you might be into that. Is that something that you've done? Can you confess to that?
A pie is a nut. pies are nuts and seeds. They've got a outer shell and an inside that feeds my body and keeps me warm for hibernation. So they're a nut. I like them.
Well, I can't argue that logic. Well, thank you very much.
One thing I will say is that oh my. Oh, sorry, that's my cousin. She likes the cameras. If Marjorie in Hardbrook Lane could stop using both vegetable shortening and butter for her crusts, that would be great because the vegetable shortening really hurts my tum tum.
Well, why don't you tell her herself? All right.
Bye.
That's all of our time.
Wait,
Back
are
to
you
you.
a nut?
I am not a nut.
Yes, I advise you to answer in the negative. Thank you. Man, the world really is changing, isn't it? And to keep up with that change, we brought in some special commentators. We're going to go to our special sports commentator right now, Lizzie Prindle. Lizzie.
Bing, 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 dong, 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 dong.
Sports. Today, football season is here again, and that means tight pants and a little ball. In other news, foreign sports are back at it again. I'd like to introduce you all to TORBALL, a sport where everyone gets blindfolded, goes down on their hands and knees, and tries not to get balls stuck in their nets.
Now, Lizzie, if I may, it almost sounds like you may be making up that last one.
Oh, no. I am certainly not. It is very popular in Sweden. You can see a lot of Swedish films, actually, about TORBALL.
Okay, guys, producer coming out here for just a moment.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Mike.
Lizzie, we told you that you can't go off script. You gotta stay on. You understand?
All right.
I mean,
Look,
the
it's
subject
not-
is sports, right?
Yeah.
Listen,
wrong?
you want me to do sports, okay? All I know
sports.
are balls and tight pants, and
I mean, those are both in
I
sports.
don't know what you want me to
Those
do.
are both in sports.
I
I think it's that you're talking about Sweden so
Right.
much that we have the problem with.
Sweden. Okay, no more Sweden. Got it.
I think that's right. Am I wrong?
Okay.
No, you're not wrong. Keep
In other news, beautiful, sexy men play basketball and look like tall trees I want to climb.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Back
man.
to you.
Yep. Sounds accurate, Lizzie. Thanks, Lizzie, for that hard-hitting report. We're going to toss now to another quick story out in the field. Condors having virgin birds. It's a problem. The California condor used to be on the possible extinction list. It certainly was on the endangered list, but they've made a rollicking recovery. And we're going to go to our wildlife expert in the field to get the details into why is this such a problem, the issue of condors having virgin births. You'd think maybe it would be the beginning of a new religion. Maybe that's the problem. I'm going to go to Tom Sizemore. Tom in the field in California.
Yeah. Hi, Brick.
Yeah, Tom.
Hi. Nice to hear from you. Well, look, Brick, the fact of the matter is the new developments in the case have just arrived within the last 15 or 20 minutes here in preparation for our piece. As a conservationist and PhD, I have to say the local police's explanation of what is going on seems highly dubious, but we are working with the facts. There is some suspicion that the claims of virgin births from the condors may actually be oriented in some type of criminal activity. There has been some evidence of a Tesla seen here and trace amounts of cocaine all over the breeding grounds of the condors. Now, whether the condors are aware of it or not remains to be seen.
Now, Tom, are you insinuating, would it be irresponsible as a newscaster to insinuate that Elon Musk is impregnating these condors?
Now, I'm a newsman. I do facts. One thing we have noticed is that Elon Musk was here. His ID was on the ground, and his personal assistant was found in the bushes, not terribly far away. We have him here for some questions to be answered. Not that I'm insinuating anything. We just want to know what his presence was here in front of these criminal birds.
Sure, it's definitely the birds that are criminals. I don't think
That's
anyone's
right.
disputing that.
Hello.
Oh boy.
Hi there. Yes, I have with me Dorothy Turnenblatz, private assistant to Mr. Musk. Now, Dorothy, can you tell us why there was both Elon Musk's ID, clear tracks of a Tesla, and a used condom on the ground?
Yes, we were having our private meeting. We had a lot of action items and just things got crazy. I don't know what to tell you.
When you were in this private meeting, did you feel that threat from the villainous and criminal birds overhead?
Not from the birds, no.
Not at all. You didn't think that maybe one of these enormous, clearly drug-fueled,
Hang on.
sex-crazed...
I just want to say something because I feel like I'm getting a really bad rap here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh
We
my
have
God,
Elon
it's
Musk on the
Musky.
scene.
Hey, Musky,
He's,
babe. How are you?
Rick, this is incredible. A second wealthiest
You know,
man in the world.
Just
Elon.
because I am now a little bit closer to being an African American, and
Oh, here we
because
go.
I'm
gonna go
a
get you a
divorcee,
latte.
doesn't mean you can accuse me of things. I'm a human. I'm not Mark Zuckerberg. I'm a human. What I do is important.
That is
Okay.
without a doubt. Yes, Mr.
Should I
Musk.
sell all
absolutely-
my stock? I think I should sell all my stock.
Couldn't hurt.
All my Tesla stock.
Couldn't hurt, I'm sure. Well, that sounds
What do
like
you
a real...
do?
Well, listen, Brick.
Brick?
I
Is
am
Brick your name? Could I have your? I'm gonna do your job. You should. You can't do my job.
Very unnerved.
Musky, come get your
very
latte.
unnerved by the scene you're at, and I think
I'm gonna go eat some
that's
rocket
very good.
fuel
Tom,
now.
stay safe. Stay safe. It
Ooh.
seems
Thank
kind
you,
of
Brick.
dangerous.
This is
there.
all very overwhelming.
It seems like a very packed scenario that you're
Very much
investigating.
so. Yes.
All right. Well, on that note, there's a lot of accusations and suspicions being thrown around, and sometimes when that happens, we as news people think it's best to bring on our in-house conspiracy expert to help us, decode the real conspiracies from the fake ones. So please call in. I'm going to toss to our conspiracy theory expert right now, Daniel.
Yeah, glad to be here. Is there anybody in the chat that has any conspiracies that they need and any information about? I'm here to help you sort out what's real and what is not in the land of conspiracy.
Excuse me, I'm on the line. I have a
Yes, first caller.
conspiracy. Yes. My name is Heather. And yeah, I want to
Thank you for
know
calling in, Heather.
why did the United States government decide that being a person meant that you had more rights than being an animal? I want to know that. What is that conspiracy? Because if they're lizard people, then why did they turn Pablo Escobar's cocaine hippos into people? I'll take the answer off the air.
Okay. Well, you know what? You actually touched on a very important piece of the puzzle there, right? There are lizard people, and there are regular people, regular humans like you and me. At least I'm assuming you are. I'm not seeing your face, or I have not been able to put you to the test. So if you're a lizard person, don't call anymore. So, we human people, okay? Oh, hold up. I'm going to play a sound. You won't be able to hear it as a human, but if you're a lizard person, it's going to drive you insane. That way they won't be able to hear us. Okay. So, we're fighting back against the lizard people that are taking over our country, and they know this. They want to belittle what it means to be a human by calling us animals, but when they themselves are really closer to being animals than we are. So this is the person that... Alright. Oh, we're going to get off this topic, but just remember, we are fighting back. We are fighting back. Okay, next caller.
Yeah.
Go on the
Hi.
air with the conspiracy man.
Yeah. Hi. I'm an attorney. I live in Alton. I guess You know, at first glance, it looks like I sued myself, but now I'm thinking, does that really just mean I have an evil twin? Thank you.
Wow, this is so much deeper than just having an evil twin. You see, back in the 60s, the Russian government started a secret project known as Doppelganger, which was initiated by some of the German scientists that they took over after World War II. This was a project to create clones of American citizens to implant because it was a lot easier to just have somebody with the same memories as the American citizens than it was to try to fake their identity to make them seem American. And if you already had the DNA of American, then the U.S. government was going to have a harder time trying to figure out if you were a Russian spy or not. This is proof, people, that the Russians did it. Project Doppelganger is real, and we must all be fearful. There are no twins. They're all just your doppelgangers. Any more calls? One more call.
Hi, I'm a big fan of the show. Last week I called in to talk about how the CIA had clearly invented disco, but I had an issue that came up this week that I felt like you would be a pretty good expert on. I mean, we all know that Michael Jackson and Ellis were brought over to Mars before their time because the Secretary of the Treasury wanted to make sure they could capitalize on all their money. But one thing I wanted to ask about is when they looked over Michael Jackson's journal and they said that he had lasagna every day for his power food, and then the FDA struck both sausage and tomato sauce and pasta from the health food pyramid. Do you think, you could just talk about how they're clearly trying to hide how lasagna is the most powerful superfood for humans because they're trying to sterilize us en masse before the coming Mayan apocalypse in 23 years' time? Thank you. I'll take my answer off here.
You hit the nail on the head. Lasagna, the ultimate power food. You got the carbs, the proteins, and you got the deliciousness. Am I right? What do humans crave more than that? All three in one meal, and it's good for you? Yeah. The lizard people in charge did not want us getting more fuel to our brains because they know that's what powers us. That's what keeps us strong. They want to keep us down. They want to get rid of our ability to procreate just so that they can fulfill their plan, which is the Mayan apocalypse. That's their plan that they set in motion thousands of years ago to try to get rid of us because we are rising up in power, and Michael Jackson is the second coming of Christ.
Wow, that's compelling stuff, Daniel. Thanks for being a part of the team, and we hope that cleared a few things up for our listeners. And thanks for watching the 7 p.m. news tonight. What you're about to see may shock you. It's me, Davis Banta. I wasn't that news guy at all. That was just a silly game we played. And this is the only way I know how to transition into our next thing, which is...
Doppelganger is real, people!
That's right, Daniel. And we're going to go back into one-word horoscopes. So, if you didn't hear your horoscope read before, this might be the chance. You'll hear it before the end of the show. For sure. If you have any other, if we can get a suggestion for like a real news story, just something weird that came up, you can just search randomly on some stuff. But if you put a link or just a headline in the chat, anything, we're going to use it for our longer form scene in a bit. It's going to be a news story. It's a documentary news story. But put that in the chat. And while you're doing that, we're going to go to one-word horoscopes, part 2.
Leo.
Today
Is
Right.
And
Full
Of
effervescent.
secrets.
Period. Don't.
trust.
anyone.
period.
Wow.
Virgo.
Gay.
Times.
Oh, wait.
You.
Tomorrow.
Joy.
Huzzah.
Bully. Exclamation mark.
There we go.
Yeah.
Mm.
Libra.
I didn't mean to bring that.
Justice.
Will.
Come.
2.
You.
Someday.
If.
You.
Read.
Susie's
Cookbook.
Oh.
Murder.
Period.
Scorpio.
Didn't.
I.
Tell.
You.
about
Today?
Question mark. Exclamation point. Hurry. Exclamation point. Exclamation point.
Soon.
You.
Will.
arrive, period.
But.
Don't.
Carrie.
Any.
Longer.
Comma, no.
No.
Nip.
No.
Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Exclamation
There
Mm.
we go.
Mm.
Wow.
Mm.
Well, we hope we helped
Juicy one.
some of
Yeah.
you out there. You Libras, you Virgos, you
I mean, let's know in the chat. if-
Scorpios, your Leos, you Princes of Maine, you Kings of New England.
I-
Yes, New York.
if we read your horoscope and it's
Tides.
affected your life, let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
and subscribe.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. I mean, yeah, like and subscribe, and we'll do more of these.
And if you
you'll-
never
we'll,
want us to-
we'll regulate your life for you. Is what we're saying.
Yeah.
And if you don't want us to do them again, you should also like and subscribe so that you can tell us. Or you can become one of our Patreons and then you can really tell us what's for, hey?
We listen to the
Hey.
daddies that pay us.
Right.
All right.
Listen to our daddies at base.
Well, it's
Amen.
about that time where we got to come around to do a local interest story.
I love local interest stories.
Wow.
Hey, wow, right?
Oh.
Courtesy of Brooke Rivers.
Oh, Brooke Rivers. You know, I hear she's just around the corner. Give her 1 second. She's
Yeah,
just
you
gotta-
go let her know and
Yeah,
she
yeah,
can come
yeah.
back.
Hey,
Yeah.
Brooke. No, they're ready for you.
Is Miss Rivers running late?
As well. So this will be a local interest story in the style of like a 60 minutes piece on an investigatory news thing. And we're going to toss off momentarily to Brooke Rivers. We didn't really get a lot of suggestions in the chat for this one, but we will just kind of, over the course of this whole thing, we pulled a bunch of articles and stuff, such as, I'm just going to list a couple things we found. The mystery of the mummified Twinkie. A ninja with a sword assailed a U.S. Army Special Operations Unit in California. There was a painter was commissioned $84,000 for a couple paintings, and he turned them in blank, and he said they were called "Take the Money and Run."
Oh.
New Zealand Christchurch Wizard is out of work. Any of those could be fodder for our story tonight. And without further ado, hopefully, Brooke, are you there?
Oh, yes. I'm here. I'm here, Davis. Hello, everyone. I'm Brooke Rivers. Tonight, we're going to explore a lovely story about a lovely man who was recently out of a job. Now, I will say that our channel is experimenting with a new audio filter where everything is translated into a normal American accent for our American viewers. So remember that this is set in New Zealand and the audio filter may not always work. what to say about the Wizard of Christ Church? Well, we spoke to one person who knew him very well. No, not his wife. The Wizard of Church Christ, a sister city about 400 kilometers east-west of Christchurch, New Zealand.
Yes, I knew the Wizard of Christchurch. He's a good feller, good feller. We keep telling him to go to a bigger city. Why Christchurch? What are your wizarding skills doing there? There's many more threats in a bigger city. You could cast your incantations to create a spell of invincibility or even invisibility, so people couldn't find the city, couldn't find vulnerable points, but I guess he was just kind of you can't lead a horse to water. I guess he just liked the smaller scene.
You certainly cannot lead a horse to water. That is accurate.
Not at all.
Not at all. Dare I ask, what is it exactly that a wizard does for his city on a day-to-day? You mentioned things you might do, but what are you currently doing for your city?
Oh, or for my city, it's a mix of things. It's kind of a grab bag position, being the official wizard. Sometimes I'm casting protective barriers around to keep the orcs out. Sometimes I'm delivering pizzas to city council meetings, and sometimes they just need another hand in accounting to keep an eye on those expenses. Because if you don't do it right, there's a lot of wasted expenses.
Isn't that true? And it's so hard to get anybody to adopt the same platform anymore. Now, Wizard, one more question. Would you say that the income that you earn, being the wizard of your city, is all that sustains you? Is that what gives you life and also the ability to pay rent and eat food?
It's what we depend on these days. It's just that and the blood of stray bats.
So it's safe to say that.
Sorry.
Someday I hope to come and try your local delicacies.
Oh, it's great. Is the interview over? I've got a bat to drain.
Oh, I guess I was just I was just going to ask. So would it be apt to say then that by losing his position as Wizard of Christchurch, Mr. Dennis actually lost his life?
It could be without help.
It could be. Thank you. Enjoy your bat. Well, although he didn't die of heartbreak after losing his position as Wizard of Christchurch, Mr. Dennis did go on a rather, disturbing series of public incidents. Never, not like anything he'd ever done before. We do have a reenactment of what it was like those first fateful hours after the news came.
Well, I run the local pub, and I saw him coming in, and he looked a little dazed, like he'd been out of it already. So I told him I wasn't sure if I should really, I sympathized with his position, but I wasn't sure if I should really comp him any more alcohol. And then he started getting real rowdy-like. Kind of reached out and pointed, and, he's a wizard. I don't know if he's casting a spell or he's going to poke my eye out. So and so I reacted the only way that I knew how, which was to beg and plead for my life while secretly reaching for the gun under the counter just to keep him away. And then I took that out and told him, "Hey, you make your way to some other establishment, right?" And then he said, "Oh yeah, that's no trouble. That's no trouble." Then he moved his hand across like he was gonna itch his nose, and then he just and then you saw it was my gun just went into the air. It a ferret and it ran off, and I was shocked. And then he laughed at me, and I was insulted, and I almost fainted out of how embarrassed I was. And then he gave me the finger. And I said, well, that seems uncalled for. And then he was like, yeah, maybe, but, it's been a rough week. We should both hang in there. Now get me that drink. And then I served him a drink because I felt like I wouldn't really have many...
Wow! What a story from that bartender. You know, he makes a really good dry martini. Just like his stories are very dry. Oh, sorry. We tried. We looked for anyone who could let us know who in the government, in the New Zealand government, had decided that it was okay to fire this man from his quite unique post. And that's when we learned that the Prime Minister of New Zealand has nothing to do with the wizards of various towns or villages or states or what have you. There is, in fact, a wizarding council who deems which city is deserving of a wizard. So tonight, we are going to explore, did Christchurch fire their wizard? Or did the Wizarding Council fire Christchurch?
Oh.
I have one of my correspondents. He's out in the field. He did an interview with the head of the Wizarding Council. I believe we have that interview here for the first time. An interview with a cloth.
Oh.
Now, Akuth, if I may have a private interview.
Oh.
It's okay if I.
Stop it.
Akuth,
Sorry,
now
those are my servants. Yes.
from my understanding of what you've taught me today, townships and cities are receive their wizard dependent on how close they are to magical ley lines. Is that correct?
Yes. Magical ley lines were set down when the British took over the New Zealand back in the 1850s. I was appointed, of course, as head of the council to decide just where to put said lines.
Right. Now, if I understand this correctly, the reason why the Wizard of Christchurch was removed from their post is because of a clerical error. Show that there was a ley line in Christchurch when in fact there was not.
Yes. A clerical error was occurred at 3:15 yesterday afternoon, where the wizard in question decided to take it upon himself to lay his own line.
Interesting. Now, has there ever been any evidence of this happening anywhere else in the past? Wizards laying their own ley lines, and if so,
Absolutely not. No.
absolutely
No.
not. This is a brand new. So, this is a rogue wizard, then.
Yes, it is a rogue wizard, and we have several specialists out looking for him. I do have the head of the wizard capture team with me today to discuss.
Name's Doug.
Doug, yes, he is an expert at wizard trapping and imprisonment.
Yeah.
Fantastic, Doug. Now, the people of the area, they are terrified of a rogue wizard. What can they do to help defend themselves from any rogue spells?
Well, first off, I mean, if you get yourself a cat, they'll often be distracted. You know, wizards often have like a pet cat or what they consider a familiar, and they'll be like, "Hey, that my cat," and that may buy you a couple seconds. And you know, you could also have just various other. You could run a line of salt around your place, or just put various vegetables. I myself am the largest potato on record.
British potato.
And I've been brought in on consultation to really track down this guy, because wizards, people don't realize they don't really like vegetables very much. Actually, it's a strange thing. They're drawn to like sweets and
The dying carcasses of animals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and bat meat, bat blood. So
Yes.
When they come across the garden, a lot of times they'll like reanimate it just to make it go away.
Mhm.
Those things, when they gain sentience, they tend to explore someplace else, and that's kind of how they keep
Actually,
vegetables.
In 1973, I came upon an idea of animating my potatoes into an army defense force against wizards, and as you can see, Doug is the result.
Now, I understand that under your that you suggested that the Prime Minister shut down the borders of New Zealand to keep this wizard from being able to leave New Zealand. Is that true?
You're asking me, the wizard.
I'm asking Kuta.
That's
Yes, yes, that is true. Per Doug's suggestion, we have closed all the borders, and we do have potatoes standing guard. Yes.
Now, obviously, this is a horrible inconvenience to our trade and any travelers, people wanting to film films here, which is a huge boon to our economy. So I think what everybody at home wants to know is how long do you expect this search to take, and is there anything that we can do to help the authorities in this situation?
Yes. Firstly, talk to your potatoes. Tell them everything and anything that you know.
I hear it all.
Will,
It all comes
yes,
right back to me.
It all comes back to Doug. And then secondly, if you see anyone with that looks like me, but in male form with facial hair, do not speak to him. Do not look him in the eyes because he will enchant you. Do not approach him in any way. If anything, throw your potatoes at him. That's all you can do, and run away very quickly. And then save one potato, talk to that potato, and report that you've seen the wizard. We must catch him as soon as possible. We want the trade and all of the, we want New Zealand to be open to the public. We do not want to make this a bigger issue than it is.
Fantastic. Thank you for your time. Is there anything else you want to let the people at home know in these
Yes.
trying times?
Wizards are good people. All right. We don't eat vegetables, but we also do not eat children. That's a myth. We love you all, and we also apologize for this rogue ramscallion who has run amok.
We just want to bring him home. We just want to bring him home.
Yes.
Well,
And save the lizard.
thank you for your time.
Hello. Sorry, I was trying to catch a wizard. Well, I know we're all shocked by that revelation. Can you believe the biggest potato in the world? British? Not American? I mean, I'm not, look, the accent filter wasn't my idea, but seriously, potatoes, come on. Nobody? Also, what's she talking about with the potatoes? Potatoes, they've got eyes. Anyway. The Wizard of Christchurch. Menace? Maybe. Who better to tell us than the other person who knew him best, apart from his head wizard and also that wizard we talked to first, his ex-wife? Ex-wizard?
I know it can be confusing.
I'm so sorry. Which pronouns do you prefer?
I prefer no pronouns.
Oh.
I prefer my name every time.
Which is
Alexandria.
Alexandria. Yes, that is an interesting way to spell that with the runes. Alexandria, tell me, when you and Mr. Dennis, when you divorced, were there any hard feelings? Did you have any inkling that he might?
Big D and I, we knew things weren't going to last, almost from the very beginning, and we stayed with each other for some time because we enjoyed each other's company, and I was heartbroken, and I think he was too, that it just didn't work out, but we in the end decided that it was the best idea, and we still hang out and have sex and do things.
Oh, so had you seen Mr. Dennis before all of this happened? Just had you been around him that day?
Which day are we speaking of?
The day that he was fired from his job.
Well, I was with him. He was very angry, and we had some passionate lovemaking on the sands of the beach, looking up at the stars, and the smoke was rising, and I could see the Stray hairs on his beard glistening, back
Oh.
by the orange fire. But yes.
Oh, the fire. Alexandria, what about earlier that day? Were you with him earlier that day? Did he seem angry at all? Was he carrying anything that might have made you feel like he was up to something?
Guilt. He carries a lot of guilt around everywhere he goes. He was also carrying his a picture, a poster, a Magnum PI poster that he's had since he was a child. Sometimes he likes to put pebbles that are the perfect size that he makes himself with his beautifully magical hands, and he fits them right in there and projectiles it. He can go through a car if he wanted it to.
I'm sorry. He
has powers, of course.
Okay.
Glitter, room filled with glitter, sparkles, sparkles, poof! Hey, here you been looking for me? Hey, babe.
Big D.
Mr. Dennis, thank you for joining us in studio today. This is truly a pleasure, unlike any other. Is he mic'd?
Oh, yeah, let me get that on.
Is-
Yeah.
Thank
Sorry
you.
this had to be a big deal. I was going through some things after I lost the job. I think I let it define me, but I decided I made some changes. I'm going to become a private eye now.
You know, Mr. Dennis,
Don't back down. We talked about this outside, mate. What are you doing? This is our chance. You're in the limelight. You've got to expose the whole conspiracy, mate.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it through private eyeing, right? Were we not on the same page with that? Oh, man.
No, you said we were going to show up at the TV studio. Your extra's going to be there. And that we're going to tell them about the ley lines. They're real. It's a lizard people conspiracy, the whole shebang. And you're just backing out now to talk about what your next job is, eh?
Big D,
I was going to discover all that. I'm sorry. I guess I had a miscommunication with my buddy. We were in this whole thing. We were going to expose all this stuff. We've been watching that conspiracy expert on TV, and we were just going to he made us want to blow the whole thing up. But I thought I was going to do it through, like, wacky cases.
For the people of New Zealand, for wizarding kind everywhere, right? You've got these lizard people popping in and out of the holes inside of the churchyards.
Well, now they can just watch you tell them about it, right? Yeah, that's all real. That's all real.
Yeah, no, Frank, it's totally out of control.
You've been framed. No, he's been
I
framed.
know Brick would do better than this, but they're
you don't
crazy.
understand. These are magical people.
No, they're nuts.
And we're all in trouble. I mean, I'm coming from America. It doesn't matter, like it's not my fucking problem. But
you can put
people
your
in
hand
Christchurch are in trouble here.
Oh boy. Well, I'm sorry about
Frank,
this.
I think we need. It might be coming to a natural close. Hang on.
Does nobody give a shit about this?
Look, I just want my
Does nobody
girlfriend
give
back,
a shit
man.
about this? Indeed. Thank you, gentlemen, and gentle Alexandria, for joining us and illuminating a bit more of your story.
Truth is out there.
I am pissed off and I'm very horny.
Aren't
Let's go to the beach.
Often all well? There you have it. The misfit wizard of Christchurch. I mean, there wasn't anything. There wasn't like there's stuff happening all the time. We're in the midst of a global pandemic. There was nothing else I could have reported on. No. Okay.
Hey,
Well,
producer coming in.
next
We got to
week-
stick to the script. Stick to the script.
Okay. Next week, we get high with basketball legend Michael Jordan. That's right. We're going tree climbing.
Oh, and what a time it will be. What's wrong with my face with this filter?
I don't know,
Let's
Davis.
play What's Wrong with My Face?
What's wrong with any of our faces all the
boy.
time?
All right, I'm back. All right, so this was a big fun experiment. We're going to come on and we're going to leave you with this final one-word horoscopes. We're a couple. There were 4 last horoscopes that we didn't tell.
I'll get Carrie back up here. Hang on.
Yeah, if you could, Brooke. And we don't want to like disappoint anybody that was like, oh, that's great that Libra knows what they're doing, but what the fuck about me? I'm a Sagittarius. Well, you're in luck. Sagittarius.
What?
The
Fuck.
Are
You waiting?
4.
question mark exclamation point. You
Need.
Dick.
Now.
Exclamation point.
Capricorn.
Hey.
Capricorn, comma.
How?
You.
Doing.
Question mark. So
Looking.
For
Some.
Sagittarius.
Paul.
me. Period.
Aquario.
Water.
Runneth.
but
Fire.
Jumpeth.
Over.
Moons.
Blades.
breaks.
And
Fire breaks.
Snakes.
Period. Yes, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what it means.
Oh,
yeah.
high
totally get it.
seas.
Mmm.
Damn.
That's
Big.
By sea.
Fish!
Yeah.
Exclamation. Oh,
Here.
don't
You.
Dare.
scale.
That.
Exclamation point. Instead.
fillet.
It.
Ken.
Time.
Period.
There we go, folks.
Say it gently time, people.
What was your what was your word,
quick
Andy?
here.
I didn't hear what
Fillet
you
it
said,
gently
Andy.
time.
Fillet it in
That's
time.
okay. Gently. Fillet it gently time.
We didn't
Yeah.
make any mistakes. We're
That was good.
always.
I
know
didn't
hear-
exactly what
I
we're
couldn't
saying.
I mean-
You know what? I just watched John H in the chat says these horoscopes are actually making much more sense than fake
Exactly.
horoscopes.
Thanks,
See?
John.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't
Thank
do
you,
fake
Jonathan.
horoscopes.
Well,
I
thank
like
you.
how he says these
John.
aren't fake horoscopes. Much more.
Yeah, no.
So they make much more sense than the fake horoscopes.
Yes.
Right.
No. We
These are the
put a lot
real
of
ones.
research into these.
This is a
did.
hive mind.
As an Aquarius,
John.
I can tell you that water runneth and fire jumpeth.
Over.
snakes.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Lakes,
Mhm.
breaks, and snakes.
I could have
Yeah.
swore you were
Right.
gonna say cometh.
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah,
Look.
we know.
that.
Water
Lizzie.
runneth, fire jumpeth, and Lizzie
Cometh.
makes sex jokes a lot.
There you go.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
inevitability.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Amazing.
John.
True
Thanks, John H.
horoscope.
If these horoscopes change your life, give us a like or maybe subscribe if you haven't.
Like and subscribe.
And
Lots of money.
enjoy. We hope you enjoyed this
And you-
experiment in the show.
You know what? We're gonna clip out these horoscopes. We're gonna put them up as small little individual videos.
we
that
should
you
do
can
that.
share
We should do
with
that.
Any,
Yes.
Any Libras,
Mhm.
Scorpios that you know in your life need to hear.
Yeah.
We'll tag
If you wanna be a
them.
good friend.
Yeah.
If you want to be a good friend, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
those will be up. Well, they'll be around, and definitely on your friendos on Instagram. I think they're good for that content for sure. So,
Bada boom.
bam. All right, enjoy those. All right, thanks, John. Thanks for watching. We're gonna jumpeth off as well. Thanks, folks. Next time we're gonna tune in next time when some of us will be in pain.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
make sure,
Yeah.
hey, make sure you come here next week, y'all, because the week after that's Thanksgiving,
It's
and we're going to be
Thanksgiving.
taking
We
a
love
week
that
off.
Yeah.
So,
We're doing a very special episode with a lot of suffering on our end. For
could
your
we say it's a
enjoyment.
wonderful episode?
Oh, yes.
Wonderful episode.
Wonderful
Chip
episode.
off the old
A
block.
wonderful
Tune in
episode.
next week for that wonderful episode. Thanks, folks. Have a good one.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye now. Bye now.
Register to vote.
Every third word in the horoscope is something about the actual government